All right, for more on Jeff Bezos and his out-of-this-world ambitions, we're joined by Tariq Malik. He's an astro-journalist and the managing editor of space.com. Tariq, thank you for joining us. A very exciting topic. So, as we saw in the report, Jeff Bezos has launched Blue Origin. He's invested about $200 million into building rockets and spaceships, if you will, and now he's launching them from Cape Canaveral. Is this actually going to make money for him at the end of the day, or is this just a vanity project, if you will?
I think, I don't think he would be pouring millions and millions on top of what he's already spent over the last 15 years if he didn't think that there was a game plan at the end. However, he's been at it for a long time. He's been able to spend because of his, billionaire status as much as he needs.
So what is the plan to monetize this? How do you see the Blue Origin business strategy? Well,
right now they're looking at launching passengers, paying passengers on either trips to suborbit. They don't go all the way around Earth. They just go up, down, they float a bit in weightlessness. And then trips all the way into space on a new orbital rocket. That's what they're going to launch from Florida. And that's kind of like their big ticket item.
So they're moving into the whole space tourism sector.
Exactly.
That's the plan. How much is it take on one of these rides?
They actually have not said yet, so we don't know exactly how much they're going to charge. There are some other suborbital companies like Virgin Galactic. They're charging about $250,000 per ticket. But the other folks haven't really set what their price is going to be.
What does the price need to be, more or less, to break even?
Well, for Virgin Galactic, we know that it's $250,000.
With a number of passengers on
board. Per trip, there's six people per flight. But we don't know how much they've actually invested in this rocket itself. Until they tell us what their pricing is going to be, it's hard to know.
Well, it really seems like the space race is heating up. You mentioned Virgin Galactic. That's Richard Branson's pet project. We've got Tesla's Elon Musk with the SpaceX. There's Boeing and X-Corp. They're also planning to offer commercial trips. Is this the new frontier? Is this what we've finally been waiting for, this whole space tourism sector to explode?
One of the really exciting things now is that instead of having one spaceship, NASA and their space shuttle, we're going to have at least 3, if not 4, 5, and more. Another millionaire, Robert Bigelow, in Las Vegas, is building private hotels that these vehicles could visit too. So there's a whole other
private hotels where?
In space.
What do you mean he's building? There's no building construction yet somewhere out of space.
Yeah, he's launched two private modules. He's tested them. They're actually still up there right now, unmanned. And he has plans to make a destination now for these companies too.
An international space station that's hovering in space, you'd hang out. This is the new luxury cruise.
You could go as a luxury cruise. They also want scientists maybe who can't buy a NASA trip. Maybe they can go on this make a vehicle.
But this is NFC. And then the people that are really going to deep.
To start off, we know that Justin Bieber has a ticket. Lady Gaga has a ticket.
These are the Virgin Galactic
on the Virgin Galactic ones. And there's other tiers too. There's some other vehicles that don't go as high or as fast. Their tickets are cheaper.
All right. This is still all up in the air, pun intended. What would be the next step for Blue Origin? When is any of this becoming concrete?
Well, Blue Origin, over the last year, has been launching their suborbital rocket called New Shepard in Texas. So they're going to want to keep perfecting that as they build this other new rocket.
And that suborbital means?
They don't go all the way into space. They go, up high, about 100 miles up, look around. The people kind of float around, and they come back down again.
Okay.
But now the next thing, they're going to start construction in Florida to build the buildings that they need for the new big rocket, their orbital launch vehicle. They're going to have to start testing that too. So, they've got those 2 projects that they're going to have to build side by side.
I'm sure safety is a big concern. Elon Musk's shuttle sort of exploded on impact when it landed. How do we guarantee this safety?
Well, that's going to be another industry too. The FAA is watching all of these private efforts, especially after the last year, where we've had 3 accidents so far, to make sure that these folks are not only meeting their guidelines, but also strict passenger guidelines too.
Very quickly, how is NASA involved in all of these? Tell me about the cooperation between these private projects and NASA.
Well, what's interesting is that NASA is becoming a customer now for these new companies. Elon Musk and SpaceX, Boeing and their space liner, those are going to be flying American astronauts for NASA to the space station in the next couple of years or so. So they also have a lot of structures they don't use anymore for the space shuttle. Boeing is renting one out. SpaceX is going to launch from an Apollo launch pad, and Blue Origin is launching from an old pad at an Air Force station, and that's what they're going to be able to reuse.
All right, they're reinvigorating the NASA program thanks to some private money. Thank you so much, Tariq Malik, astrojournalist and the managing editor of space.com.